Okay, so now let's look into our test phase. So here there are mainly one is playground and the second one is tokenizer. So what is tokenizer? So the tokenizer, you can select the model. Generally, the cost associated with any foundational model is actually dependent upon the number of tokens you use, like number of input tokens and output tokens. So here you can give your prompt and estimate the number of tokens it is being counted, especially based upon the model. But right now we don't have access to it. uh, so I just explained you as a overview. Here you can select your model. Right now we got only two models, Sonnet 4 Legacy, and when you click on apply, it asks you to go into the form, which I'm not looking into right now, but there is a chance that you can use Tokenizer as part of AWS Bedrock, where you can estimate the number of tokens your prompt gets divided into, and you can adjust your prompt to adjust the tokens. And the interesting thing is the playground. Here you can select any of the models and talk to them. It's like a chat GPT or a Gemini AI or a Claude chat, but here you can select models from any of the model providers. You can select from OpenAI. We don't even know ZAI, not the famous ones for regular people, but we can select from Nvidia, many things. But as Amazon models are pretty cheap in Bedrock, let's go with Amazon, any of the Amazon Nova 2 Lite. And but here at the same time you can also select the models based upon the inputs it takes and output it provides, also the inference profiles. Right now it doesn't have any inference profiles, so it doesn't have much bigger options. So we got one global, two cross region, one is global cross region, and I think this is a geo cross region. They never mentioned it here, but still, let's go and click apply and see what it looks like. See, it's just a simple Nova to like chatbot. Yeah, we can say a chatbot. We can say it like a chatbot. So what we can say, hi, what is time in CST? So it thinks and gives you an answer, right? Let's see how much time it takes. Man, it takes a little bit of time. Yeah, so we got an answer saying what exactly the answer is. Still confused. Oh, your current, just tell me your current time zone. Happy time checking, yeah, some kind of stuff. It gave me an answer. I don't care, but the interesting part is it shows the number of input tokens it takes and the number of output tokens and the latency, the amount of time it took in milliseconds to give us an answer. See, these are some things that you can't see in a regular chatbot. And at the same time, in the settings phase, you got many things to adjust. One is system prompts. So what exactly system prompt is? System prompt is a prompt that tells this particular chatbot, anytime you interact with it, just ask it to think like a think like a AWS senior recruiter with 10 years of experience in Gen AI recruitment. Cool, right? So, and then we got built-in tools. One is Nova grounding, so it grounds the responses based upon the web sources and citations. So instead of just simply giving any answers like vague answers or unpredictable answers, it bases its answers to web sources and citations. I think this is a little bit costly, but let's see what happens. And then code interpreter. Right now we are not using any code interpreter, so just leave it. And then the model reasoning length. So how much length you want the reasoning to be. You can increase the length of your answer or high, but I'm keeping it low. And the length of maximum output tokens. you can increase your number of output tokens, but I'm again keeping it low. And stop sequence, so what kind of words you want to consider as stop sequence. Let's say you ask a question to the model saying what happened on a particular bad day, and you don't want your clients or your users to get answers to those kind of things, so you can add those words as bad words. In this case, since we are going to ask any uh, a system prompt, we can consider saying something like recruitment. I don't think so. Yeah, layoff. So I'm adding layoff as a stop sequence. So I don't want my chatbot who acts like a senior recruiter at AWS want to answer about layoffs. So I'm adding layoff as a stop sequence and layoffs. Okay. And then the randomness. This is randomness, as we all know what exactly randomness is. By adjusting the temperature, right now it doesn't have option to adjust the temperature because of the model we choose. If you reset the model, I think we can have the ability to adjust the temperature, top P and top K. We can learn about these things later, but these are the ones that actually changes the answers that is given by the model. So it's like increases the randomness. The more the temperature, the more random the answer given by the model. If the less the temperature, so the more predictable the answers are. And then comes guardrails. Right now we don't have any guardrails, but what exactly is guardrails? So you can create a guardrail. So based upon the guardrail, if the answer from the model goes outside of the guardrails, these guardrails will stop the model reasoning and makes the answer concise within the guardrails. And then comes prompt catching. So instead of using reasoning for the same prompt again and again, if you enable the prompt catching, the prompts get saved. So if someone asks the same prompt again when the session is enabled, instead of using the costly AI inference, it's going to respond from the catchy, like the prompt catchy. I'm just switching it off right now. So let's ask one question as, when does AWS AI recruitment going to be open? Maybe like this: AWS community builder going to be open slots. Not supported for model. Okay, that's cool. So let's move this one and click on run. Let's see what it says. Community builder slots, when do they open, and it gives us a good answer, but still it is going to give a lot of bit answers still. And we got the output saying input tokens is 972, output tokens is 1903, and this is our latency. And we got answer everything. Now let's ask, when AWS planning next round of layoffs. Let's see what it does. Okay, man. Since we added two words as top sequences, I think any of these will. Okay, see, AWS layoff, what we know as of official plans for upcoming round of layoffs. The moment it got layoffs, the moment, see, come on. So this is the answer, and the moment it got a word like layoffs, since it is a part of stop sequence, the answer is like the reasoning out of nowhere stopped. So this is how you can add stop sequence words, so that our model doesn't answer whatever it wants. you can guard, like using stop sequence words. This is it. You can play within the playground as much as you want using many other models, but make sure, I'm not sure about the cost right now. I'm using somewhat cheaper model, so always go with cheaper model and don't use it as you wish, but use carefully. Thank you. In the continuous video, I'm gonna explain about the inference profiles and what exactly is batch inference. So stay tuned.